Welcome to Training Tuesday. If you make cold calls, you're going to love this training. Actually, I don't know how many people actually really love making cold calls. And that's because the response that we usually get from people that we are interrupting. And if you view it from the point of that's your job, and which it actually is, it's your job to interrupt their day. That's what we're doing when we're cold calling. We're interrupting what they're doing. We're interrupting their day. We're interrupting their line of thinking and hopefully opening them up to a new bit of information about you or your product or your service that they'll take in and do something with. Now, I get a number of objections, which I call the royal brush-off, or an RBO for short, when I make cold calls. And probably the most common two that I get, the number one is usually, I don't have time right now. Or if they're really mad, I don't have time for you ever to talk to me. So that's one. And the second one is I like my product. I like my current vendor. I like the service that I have. And there are lots more. And I'm sure that if you've made cold calls, you've heard a lot of different royal brush-offs. But I want to talk about the first one and how we should address the royal brush-off and how we can move forward. Again, it is your job to interrupt the prospect's day. And it's not fun because people usually are annoyed. And so they have some common responses that they've been trained by us salespeople work very well. And the number one common response is, I don't have time right now. What do most salespeople usually say when they hear that? Oh, I'm very sorry. Well, maybe we should do it another time, or I'll call you back later. And then that's it. Now, that person knows that you're going to call back, and when they see that number come through, they're definitely not going to pick up the phone if they picked it up in the first place. But that's a whole nother training. Instead of just going along and saying that you understand and you'll call another time, here, try this response out. I figured that might be the case, which is why I called to see if we could schedule a time that would be more convenient for you. How about next Thursday at 3 o'clock? Now, you've just interrupted what they expect to happen. You've just interrupted their expectations that you're either going to hang up or you're going to say, oh, no, we'll just take a few seconds, and that you're going to argue with them. You have gone for the presumptive close or the presumption that you're going to have another meeting. And you've already made a suggestion on when that meeting should be, what day and what time. And you've got your prospect off their toes now. They're unbalanced. Now they're thinking. And hopefully for you, they'll come back and say, well, yeah, 3 o'clock looks fine. Or, no, that day's not very good. How about this day instead? That's the best way to approach it. Your job is to continue to keep them off balance in a nice way. Not argumentative, but suggestive and firm. I think if you try that, you're going to find that your success rate at setting up meetings from cold calls is going to increase dramatically. I bet you get lots of others, RBOs, and I'd love to hear about them. So either send me an email, or if you're watching us on Facebook, go ahead and comment below and tell me what your favorite royal brush-off is and what your comeback is. And if you send me an email or you give me permission in the comments, I'll share it in the next Training Tuesday. I'll credit it to you. And we'll have a whole collection of famous royal brush-offs and responses. Until next week, until next Training Tuesday, go out there, make sure you got a strong response, take care of that royal brush-off.